3, 2, and I think we are live. Let's see. Let's give it just a second. Yep, we are indeed live and online. Right on, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and share the podcast too. If you guys want to go ahead and tweet it out to your followers, that'd be awesome. But this is gonna be a great episode today.
So
We're looking forward to it.
I am super hype. I'm so glad that you guys decided to come along.
Well, thank you for having us.
thank you. Yeah, we really appreciate it.
No worries. You guys have been awesome supporters, and I just love paying it forward too, because you guys do a much better show than I do, if you ask me.
Oh man,
No.
You guys are so charming and so much fun too, and I just love watching you guys on camera together. Even when you're goofing off, you can just tell like they love each other so much. They're just doing so many great things. All right, let me go ahead and
we
put
can
this
edit well.
Yeah, there you go. That works too. Awesome. Okay, well, let's go ahead and give it just a minute for everybody to start streaming in. Then we will start today's hashtag Vegas podcast. We are actually just doing a little pre-show right now, getting ready, getting the beer together, and tonight I am drinking a Chillax Pineapple Gold Ale.
Ooh,
Because
nice.
that's what I'm. Yeah, that's from a local brewery around here, Bootstrap Brewing.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I live out here in Colorado and I like to try the funky beers. I mean, everything out here is craft beer and beards. Really, that's what we are.
Yeah, we love Colorado.
Well,
It's such a
Hog
cool place.
just got back from Colorado. He took a boys' trip. He was up there during the 4th of July.
Bro, and you didn't hit me up?
I didn't know. Yeah.
And that's that's the end of the hashtag Vegas
didn't know
podcast
you
today,
lived
guys.
there.
I know I don't bring it up very often. Everyone thinks Ace of Vegas. They assume that I live in Vegas, but
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
yeah, you would think so, but no, I enjoy the Strip too much, and I like MGM a little too much to actually live there.
We are exactly the same. We would
Right.
probably die if we lived there.
I know I don't think I'm brave enough to live there. I think guys like Jacob and that's see Skrusten even said so. That is messed up. You are right, man. All right, guys. Well, now I think we got I think we actually got a fair amount of folks watching, so let's go ahead and start the show. Welcome to hashtag Vegas Video Podcast. Well, not so much video podcast, but definitely a podcast. And I am your host, Ace of Vegas, and we are joined today with our special guest co-host, Hagen 2 Cent. You guys want to say what's up?
What's up, guys? Hello.
What's up, guys?
We're here.
Hello.
Some of our hypest guest stars of all time. This is always a good time, too. You guys have been doing a lot of guest spots lately, because our boy Cris actually just had you on Faces and Aces, right?
Yeah, really, really nice guy.
That
Oh,
was
yeah,
actually our only other podcast we've ever done. So this is our
Really? Because you guys
Yeah.
sounded like naturals on there, too. And Chris is an old pro. He's been doing this for a while. You know. You were right there on his level. That's awesome.
second. He probably has very good editing, though.
Well, yeah, he did a great job. He actually made me sound credible for once. So, thanks, too. All right, guys. Well, now that we've got you on the show, I am going to go ahead and bring up a little card that I make for you guys over here. So, Hagen 2 Cent, if you guys don't know them, they are actually Vegas vloggers, too. They go to Vegas as a couple, and then they show us their good times having dinner at restaurants, playing slots, and, well, you guys don't really play video poker. You guys hit the pokies a lot.
I have no clue about poker.
No poker, no blackjack, no. Oh, no, you guys talk blackjack.
yes.
You guys do know
Poker,
blackjack.
No clue.
That's right. Well, we're going to talk about blackjack a little later on in the show. But yeah, why don't you guys go ahead and tell us about yourselves? Plug your channel a little bit. Let us know what it's about.
All right.
Go ahead. We have well, we started it out as a travel vlog channel, but we are pretty much degenerates, and we just can't get away from Vegas,
We
so
just-
it keeps pulling
we
us
just
back
keep
in.
finding
So
ourselves
most of our
back there.
videos are Vegas.
Yeah. So actually, yeah, we started off as a travel vlog, and we still consider ourselves a travel vlog, not so much a Vegas vlog, but most of our content is Vegas related. We did do a Central Europe trip, and believe it or not, we went through 5 countries, and I barely finished Poland and Slovakia, but I'm barely starting on Hungary. And I still have Hungary, Austria, and Czechia to go. But Vegas just seems to get in the way every single time, and it just keeps pushing back those vlogs. And now I'm afraid that if I start editing the Central Europe vlogs that I haven't gotten around to editing, all our Vegas all the people that have subscribed to our channel because of our Vegas vlogs, I'm afraid they're gonna start getting annoyed with all like the notifications popping up, but they're not Vegas related. It's gonna be like
The backlash.
Hungarian Budapest vlog, and they'll be like, "What the hell is this?"
No, yeah, it just depends on the type of fans you have there. It's kind of like when I do the best slots in Vegas videos. Some people really love them, but they're definitely the least popular on the channel. People really like to see the video tours that I do of the rewards that we redeem in real life.
Yeah.
I like doing the gameplay videos. I just have fun. People have fun with it, and people will be like, "Yeah, I'll skip over this video," but hey, that review of Wolfgang Puck, that looks interesting. I'll watch that one.
Yeah.
That's good. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings, and I'm glad people exercise that.
Yeah, and I think if it weeds out people that don't like us, then we didn't need them.
Yeah, there you go,
we're
right?
not. We have day jobs, unfortunately, and we
I'll
have to
drink to
work
that.
for a living. But
Yeah.
it would be nice to have more subs. But we're super happy with the subscribers that we have because it feels like we actually know them.
Yeah. It feels,
They communicate with us a lot, and so
it feels
it's like a
we've,
family.
yeah, we've known. It feels like we've known each other for ages, and most of them we've never met, and we've already had some comments, pertaining to, one subscriber said, well, I like this video because you don't, show any slot play. But then we know we have subscribers that like the slot play. So I think our challenge right now is satisfying everybody, and you can't satisfy everybody.
Oh no, you always gotta find a balance there. Oh, I feel you.
Yeah. And then, our passion is playing blackjack, and then having to deal with the obstacle of being able to even vlog that play. All we can do is just go in there and, next clip we're out, and then we're explaining to our subscribers what happened, whether we won or lost the table. But we would
There's
like to
almost
be
so much
like,
you can legally do. Yeah, I feel you.
right. If our ultimate goal is to do what the slot lady does when she films her blackjack play over at El Cortez.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
We've tried.
Just do that hidden camera action right.
We've tried. Well, we've asked for permission.
Yeah, we asked when we were at El Cortez.
And we were close. We had I don't know if he was a pit boss or a manager or something.
He was like a
floor manager, yeah.
Assistant floor.
And he was seriously thinking about it, but somebody actually ruined it for us. He said somebody earlier had let somebody else other than her try to film, and he did something that they didn't like. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And so they are very leery of letting other people do it. So
I see. So yeah, always one guy ruining it. I bet you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't say hi to Matthew. I know it wasn't him.
No.
But I mean, I'm sure she had been going there for a long time, and they got to know her over the years and whatnot. And and who knows if subscriber count has anything to do with it.
Oh, I bet you it does. Exposure, absolutely. Exposure over everything.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Well, what do you guys think about jumping into the first subject of the day here? I had two or three in mind, really. Just to kind of get you guys inundated and get you guys all hooked into this too. So I had a couple ideas. Wanted to do couples in Vegas. I wanted to talk about that European blackjack story you guys had, and also wanted to go ahead and see about. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about. I swear. Oh, it was Vegas first timers. In fact, let me go ahead and import that card right now.
All right.
Because I have a card for that right now. But anyway.
Just to preface, our preparation for this was to take a shower.
Nice.
We didn't actually make a card, but we did take a shower.
No, it's okay, because you know what? I got you on the card. I got you, fam. Let's see. I should have a Vegas Virgin card over here. Where did that go? Yeah, Vegas first timers. Talking about Vegas Virgins here. Okay, there we go. Get our hashtag Vegas overlay on that action right there. Cool. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. I'm so bad. Ace is so bad. There it is. First time cards. All right. So for your first visit to Las Vegas, what would you guys advise folks to do, honestly? I figure we'll go ahead and do we'll just do a little round table. Each of us gives a tip. And then, we'll just go from there. Maybe once we get up to 10, we'll go ahead and wrap it around 10. What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah, that should take us to the bottom of the hour, I think. So, let's go ahead and start. So, Tucson, what do you want to go ahead and start there, boss lady?
Well, I guess I'm just going to, the obvious for us was finding, you know, the best blackjack table, you know, with the lowest minimum, that it pays 3 to 2, you know, that the penetration is good. We're preferably anything that does not have any automatic card shuffling machines. Those are bad.
Yep.
Preferably hand shuffle. And you know what we didn't know when we first went together as a couple, we had just started both playing blackjack, and we were
Oh, it was
playing.
your first time there, huh?
Well, it was our first time as a couple, and this was back in 2010, December 2010, and we found ourselves playing blackjack on the strip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We didn't even, and we actually, it was kind of a family trip, so we went with my mother, my parents, my father and mother-in-law, his parents.
Okay.
And we just didn't realize that you can find better games downtown, actually. And I think a lot of first timers don't really head downtown. Maybe they do because of Fremont, and they'll go maybe one day and then they'll spend the rest of their trip on the strip. But
Admittedly, I think you're right on that one, because my first time as a first timer, I had spent the entire time on the strip over there. I was just I barely gambled. Definitely played some craps and all that. Most of the time was single me, so I spent most of the time drinking, chasing girls, things like that. So, but you know,
That's perfect.
that's what you do when you're young and single. It's just what you do, and that's all right. I think that's okay as long as everyone's safe, right?
right.
Yeah.
And you know, and there's a lot of people that go to Vegas that don't gamble at all, and you know that is just as respected, you know, in my eyes.
That's what I was gonna say. It's kind of a hard question to answer for first timers, because it depends on what kind of a first timer you are. If you're a gambler, I think we're more gamblers because we live in a state that doesn't actually have gambling. So the casinos are like a huge thing to us. We don't
Right.
have the option to just hit up a casino whenever we want. So when we go to Vegas, like that's our main goal. But I know now, you know, other states, you know, there's casinos everywhere.
Yeah, we
So
got them all over the place here in well, not all over the place, but all up in the mountains in Colorado.
yeah, exactly. So there's people that go for different reasons. So I would definitely say for me, if I'm a first timer, I would go to the strip and just hit up all the, you know, the sites and collect players cards like in every casino that I walk into, because that's what's going to keep you coming back. You cannot hit everything all at once. You know, you'll have that need, that urge to come back and do whatever you missed out on the next time. So don't just pace yourself, see what you can see, and then
Oh, you can't pace yourself in the city
yeah.
lights. It's 72 hours a day. No, you can't be
No,
doing
no,
that.
no.
No, that's great advice too.
But you know, there's always going to be other trips. So
And
you know,
and it also depends on the time of year you go, whether or not you're there, you know, 2 nights, 3 nights versus 6 nights. You know, I would recommend that, yeah, they go do all the tourist things, you know, go see the Bellagio fountains. They were really cool when I first saw them. Now it's just kind of like, okay, been there, done that. I need to go find an awesome blackjack game, you know? But I just say
you see a show,
give yourself a reason to keep going back.
pick a show, pick a show. Make sure you eat somewhere that has great food,
Well,
which
you find
isn't
that
hard
out.
to do.
Yeah, it's all over Vegas.
And people watch.
Yeah, that's
I love to do that.
yeah, that's just that in itself is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice, nice. All right. Let's see. Do I have any good stuff too? Oh, here's a good one. Now, I'll go ahead and go back to my usual stingy money-saving things that 90% of my audience is here for.
Perfect.
Budget an extra $100. You gotta budget an extra $100 for fees, because fees will eviscerate you if the tables don't do it. If the slots don't do it, they're gonna make their money back in fees. That's
Yes.
killer.
Yes.
Yeah, that is one of the worst things. Like they have not just the resort fees now, but the parking fees. If you're one of our Cali viewers, and you guys drive in, and if you guys have already been, you know. But this is for the newbies. This is for anyone that's never been there, definitely. So
Yeah.
definitely want to go ahead and make sure that you're watching that CNF fee at the restaurants. They put little tiny. Have you guys seen the CNF fee before?
You know, I've never noticed. I
I
don't even know
never
what that
even.
is.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
let me tell you about the CNF fee. It stands for it stands for BS, but it's concession and franchise fee, and all that means is that they're kicking in another 5% on your bill just because they can.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's ridiculous. So they'll do things like that, and you know what? Clubs have the same thing. Clubs in not just the nightclubs, but the lounges too, called a venue fee. So they'll do that to you. Some of the pools will do it, and they're just
Yeah.
little mini resort fees.
Yes.
So make sure you're saving the money. Anything that you plan to do, check ahead, see if they have an extra fee attached to it. You might want to change your plan.
Yeah. I just saw there was a tweet about somebody that was paying resort fees for Wi-Fi, and then they went down to the bar and got. I don't know if that's the same fee, but they got this
Oh yeah,
fee.
I think I know what you're talking about. The one that not leaving Las Vegas. He just dropped a video on that.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's like you're paying twice for the same thing.
All right, and how do you do and they just do it because they can.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Well, no one ever really reads the fine print. I'm guilty of never reading the fine print. So
Yeah. I'll ignore it too. Sometimes I'm
Yeah,
drinking, I'm on holiday, I just don't give a damn, and I'm just out
yeah,
there. So
yeah.
why not? Why
But you
ignore
know
it? Why
what?
not
I
ignore it?
think we've found out just from hearing other people's bankrolls that we're super low rollers.
yeah,
Like
we are.
we bring like what we bring for the whole trip is like what people use in a day or 2 days.
Yeah, just depending on what you do, I mean,
And we're so shocked, we're like really surprised.
yeah, I mean, I can do a Vegas trip for less than $1,000 with two people, honestly.
Yeah, yeah,
Comps and all that, and that's if I don't even feel like playing. If I feel like playing, I could probably do it for less. And if I'm doing solo, it's so cheap.
yeah, 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 exactly.
So, all right. Actually, speaking about bankrolls, you guys have any tips about managing your bankroll?
We actually this last trip. Well, okay. Well, if you've seen our videos,
Right?
everything goes out the window in the heat of the moment. But if we're thinking clearly, what we were discussing on this last trip, because part of being like a vlogger, I guess, is you get to review your trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
Right.
constantly looking at, oh my God, I was actually winning this vacation, and there I am throwing it back in, and so it kind of gives you this. So we were talking about it, and I was telling Toussaint that, if we just took the little winnings that we would win from a slot and actually bought something with it, like we forced ourselves to take that chunk and buy the food that we were going to eat that day with it, and then just go play again with, go back to our bankroll and play again, we would probably be more on top instead of just throwing it back,
Into the
in.
machine.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard not to play with Vegas money though. It's hard not
Yeah, yeah,
to and use it.
yeah, exactly. But I'm like, if we get tangible things in our hands, then we can actually walk away with something.
There you go. Bring back something tangible, guys.
Yeah.
Well, but then it's also when we start doing our live slot play, it's easier to keep going, right?
Yeah, oh
So
yeah.
that we can let the time run longer, right? We could start a live stream, right, for subscribers, and we'll hit a nice bonus maybe at the beginning of the live stream. And there's a part of us that, we're like, well, we're not going to end our live stream just because we just won this bonus. We're going to keep going, right? Because we love interacting with our subscribers, whether it's just one person or 10 people on. It's just, they make it so much fun. We interact with them. And so it just we find ourselves like playing for a lot longer. And in the end, we put it all back in,
Yeah,
So-
that makes it tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's worth it to us.
It's fun. Again, the reason why we are such blackjack players is we enjoy like meeting people at the tables. You meet like all sorts of people, and so it's the social part of it. So that's why the live streaming became such a big deal to us. We were never really slot players until we started doing live streams, because then we could talk to people online, and we just love the people interaction.
Yeah.
Right. Good times. Good times.
And when we started doing that, all of a sudden we came back from that trip where we decided to start live streaming our slot play. YouTube went and changed the rule, and we couldn't live stream from our mobile device until you reach 1,000 subscribers. So we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, I just got that feature back myself too, and you know, ironically, I don't live stream on my phone. I'm just using my rig over here. But I think next trip, because I'm going up the hill with the boys actually for a friend's birthday. We were supposed to go to Vegas this last time, but he had a little bit of a family emergency, and that kind of drained his bankroll a little bit. So we're just going to take him to a nice local casino, and next year we'll go ahead and do the big Vegas trip.
Nice.
Yeah, and as far as our bankroll, rule of thumb for us, and this is how low we roll, is I have $100 limit a night for the table.
And, that's disciplined. I thought you guys were like, I mean, I know you guys were doing it like a budget, being smart about it, but that is disciplined.
Well, I mean, that's the plan on paper, right? But then, you know, there are nights when I do eat into my bankroll. But sometimes that's what it takes. I mean, you have to know the rules of blackjack. You have to know that if you're going to play with a certain amount, then that's going to determine, you know, your minimum bets, your maximum bets, how long you would have to, you know, play to ride out the lows.
And we don't really show, like, we do a lot of scouting, so we don't show that on the vlog, but we do a lot of walking around and looking at the dealers and the games and trying to find the right table to sit down at before we play, just so that we can stretch our bankroll as far as we can.
But for the most part, there's been 2 trips that we've taken to Vegas where I came back really down. This last one was one of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember last video that you guys did, because you guys were looking for balls with words.
Yeah, exactly.
Balls with words there. I remember. Yeah, Tucson, you were hurting, girl. You were.
Yeah.
Og was killing it. He was like, well, you had one like really lousy one, but then you had a couple of them that were like 2,000 credits and 1,000 credits stacked on top of each other, and I was like, all right, bro, you gonna make it.
And that's not even showing like the blackjack wins he had. He kept winning.
Oh yeah.
He won like 3 separate side bets that were easily over $150, that just on the side bet. So he was doing pretty good at the tables, and as well as the slot machines for the most part. But you know, I just had a really bad trip. But you know, our best trip was when we didn't pay for the room. We didn't have any resort fees. We flew on points, so we didn't even drive. And I turned $300 into $1,200. I mean, it was an awesome trip. Yeah. So for the most part, if I know I'm going to Vegas a month in advance, I'll save about $300 just for blackjack. Now, if we're gonna play slots, which we've been doing a lot recently, we'll have a separate bankroll for that. But you know, if I know I'm going to Vegas like 3 months in advance, then you know, my budget is I can save up those $300 each month. You know, nice. And I'll have a bigger bankroll, right?
That's smart. All right, let's go ahead and see if we got any other tips for everybody here. So we're talking blackjack tape. Oh, there was actually one in the live chat that I saw. I want to say that was Gibbs that dropped it in here. Gibbs, you mind if I go ahead and drop this? I'm not sure if you can hear me right now.
What's up, Gibbs?
So,
hello,
yeah, that was C. Gibbs. I think that's actually one of Hog and 2 Cents' main.
She's our OG.
Yeah, she's the OG fan. That's what's up.
She was the very first live stream person we ever had.
She was our only one for the night.
Nice. No, that's all good stuff. No, I've always had my first fans too. I remember my first fan, Angels fan 15, was the very first fan I had on the show. And ironically, he won the first giveaway that I did on the channel too. I just thought that was super poetic.
That's awesome.
That was great. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take Miss Gibbs' idea and tell you to go to the pharmacy before you get settled in.
Yes. Perfect.
That and you know the drill on that one. Stock up on the water, stock up on the NSAID, stock up on the condoms, stock up on the snack. Whatever you're there for, too. I mean, if you're there for the party, if you're there for the long haul, if you're there for the sightseeing, get the essentials there because that'll save you so much money compared to
Yeah.
trying to shop in the actual casinos. I mean, sure, yeah, you do get the points on your card, but it's not worth that much.
No.
Yeah, good
And
introduction. There he is. He said condoms, absolutely. CVS
good.
essentials, absolutely.
Um,
Eric's is right.
we did learn if you're in a hotel room where the fridge is jam packed with their stuff, um, you can actually just tell the front desk you're diabetic, and they'll bring a fridge, a little mini
Oh, for the
fridge.
insulin, yeah.
Yeah. And so you go to the Walgreens, stock up the fridge with all your stuff, and you're ready.
Nice. That's a smart way to do it too. Because
Yeah.
otherwise they'll charge you. I did a video on this recently, but they'll charge you like $25, $35 a night for a mini fridge just so
Yeah.
you use the
Yeah.
what's in there. Because if you put a water bottle in, let's say, I'm gonna pick on MGM because I hate Jim Murin. I really hate Jim Murin. He's the worst. He's the worst human being on the face of every single thing he does. No, there's a little space usually between the cans of soda and the top of the fridge, and if you cram one bottle of water in there, that's a $75 restocking fee.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
Oh
It
yeah.
is the largest.
Ridiculous.
It's the largest pile of S I've ever
Yeah.
seen since I don't know Jurassic Park movie, but that actual pile of Triceratops dung. I mean, in the literal sense of the word.
uh,
So.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty hardcore stuff. All right. How about we go ahead? Yeah, that's a tip for any hotel you go to. Too true. Too true.
There's a couple of tips I've heard.
Yeah, let's get one more in there. I think we're coming up on the bottom half of the hours. Let's get one more good one, and we can move on to. We'll talk more blackjack.
So we hear a lot of people complaining about the drink service while they're playing. You know, it's slow or non-existent. And I forget where we got this from. I'm pretty sure it was from a vlog. We watch so many Vegas YouTube vlogs. But I think a good tip that I had heard was, and I don't drink, right? I just turned 11 years sober, but
Oh, congratulations on that.
thank you. And you know, most everybody I know drinks, and so you know, I heard a good tip is, if, you know, before you sit down, settle in at a slot, just kind of find out where I guess a waitress station is, or maybe sit somewhere close to where the waitresses have to actually go get their drink, and maybe go up to a waitress and let them know, hey, I plan on, you know, getting quite a few drinks or whatever, you know, maybe tip them up front, maybe a couple, like $1 or $2. And, you know, I heard that works for some people, that, you know, the waitress will come around more often, you know.
Smart way
I've
to do
never
it.
tried it. And I don't think we've never tried it, but
It's been okay
Yeah.
lately where we've been.
yeah, we haven't
Drinks.
really had. No, you have. You've had a couple of issues at the Cosmo.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Cosmo was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've been drinking at the bar these last few times. I had a really rough time at God, where was it? I think it was New York, New York. I was going on a solo trip. Well, that's not entirely true. I met some friends while I was down there that happened to be in town at the same time, but it was largely a solo trip.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, right on. So, any final thoughts on these tips over here before we move on to the next big topic? Because I know you guys have a story time for us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess we do things. We try to do things so, you know, on the cheap side all the time, that, you know, we don't really go and eat out at, you know, the expensive fancy restaurants. Maybe we will if we won, you know, a decent amount to cover our meal, or if it's like a special, you know,
Special occasion,
like
yeah.
a birthday or whatever. But yeah, we pretty much, you know, Earl of Sandwich every other day.
All
And,
right. Hey, no hate on that. Earl of Sandwich.
No.
Or do not disparage them.
Love it.
yeah, we're not buffet. We are not buffet.
And we found
eaters.
out the PH Earl of Sandwich is where all the other franchisees go to train.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh.
actually the best one, actually.
Yeah, for
Nice.
service
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we're not big buffet eaters, so we can't really provide any good tips as far as buffets go, because we get full way too quick. I'm not sure why.
Hey, it's all good. I got a video on that scheduled for Saturday. So yeah, just make sure that you subscribe to Ace of Vegas if you guys haven't already, and I'll tell you all about the
Yes.
phase. It'll be a good time.
Yes.
Shameless plug, but I guess it's my show, so I guess I
No.
can do that.
Yes. Do
You
it.
can do whatever you want.
And he has Ace of Vegas has the coolest intro
Oh, it's amazing.
to his videos. Like you can't ever change that because
Actually, I have a new one for season 3 next year. There's a new one, and it's gonna be hardcore. It's gonna be
dude. That is the best.
I love it.
I mean, I love it, man.
I'm like, is that is
yes,
so
it
cool.
is. Yes, it is. And my buddy, I got one of my buddies from Texas actually. My boy Jesse Byrne. He does a Yu-Gi-Oh channel because that's the type of nerd I was when I was a kid in college, especially too that we did that. So he still does a bit of that. We used to do that together too. I moved on to Vegas. He still does that. But anyway, to make a short story long, he actually did the vocals on that one for me too because he had a great impression there. So he did the vocals for that, and I just mixed the music, and it was great. So if you guys are ever in Texas, which you guys are. Actually, next time I go visit him, I'm gonna come see you guys too, and we're gonna do something fun.
Yes.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, now that we're moved on to the bottom of the hour, let's go ahead and talk a little more blackjack. So you guys, and I brought up the card over here. These are the pretty girls from the online European blackjack, which apparently is terrible. So let's go ahead and talk about a little bit about that. If you guys want to jump on.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think we ever came across a
They didn't look like that.
No.
They didn't look like that. Oh, that's a shame.
Like,
no.
they were more
guys.
Yeah,
really,
they were like
for the most part.
like Milovic. I don't know.
Very stern.
Very stern and serious.
There is no celebration. Don't celebrate.
You can't scream.
Stay calm. Remain calm.
If you get a blackjack.
Just for that, I'm gonna go up there, do my stereotypical American. Yeehaw!
Yeah.
That blackjack, winner, chicken dinner, son. do it the best I can.
Yes. We were in Prague, and we were playing blackjack there. They don't let you walk in with cameras or backpacks. They're very strict. As you go in, fill out a bunch of paperwork, and then you go in. But we sat down at a table, and there was an Asian gentleman that was very loud and very drunk, and you could tell he was used to Vegas and just the way things were.
Very outgoing, very nice.
Very nice, friendly, trying to have a conversation. So I think
which is the main reason why we play blackjack.
Anyway,
have fun.
He had a hand where he needed a 5, so he just yells out, "Come on, 5!" And wouldn't you know, he got a 5.
And so we're all celebrating.
And they just tell us all to calm down, chill out. You guys take it down. It's very, very remain calm.
Okay, I rephrase my previous statement. That is the largest pile of beef I've ever seen. How do you? Oh, God forbid that you win and you want to enjoy winning a little bit.
Right. But on the flip side, why I would keep going to this place is they, for one thing, is they use the same deck of cards, hand shuffle.
Okay.
And I guess they're trying to ward off people that count cards. I don't know. But they send in a dealer that decides to deal as fast as he possibly can.
The strong arm.
Which, for a card counter, is not a big deal.
Yeah, nobody actually cares if you know. I mean, you just look at the cards. All right, these are the cards.
Yeah, you just look at them.
It's
and
arithmetic.
The more hands per hour, the better for a card counter. So the faster is not necessarily the best idea for a casino. Yeah. But anyway, this guy's putting bends in the cards. He's putting creases by just spitting them out so fast. So you could actually tell what the cards were before. You could see what, even his down card, you could tell if the crease was a certain way, what card it was, because they use the same deck. And you start memorizing the creases in the cards. And so it becomes very easy to tell what the dealer has before they even flip it over. That's one thing. The other thing was, which blew us away, was people